Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. We got a major update today, people. Mid-November. I was expecting one maybe December. And if they do one like mid-month like this, I didn't expect nearly as much stuff to be put into it. But this is a massive update as far as content in the game, as far as it comes to plays. They really added a lot of plays to playbooks, as well as defensive formations. They really came up with some new defensive formations in the game, and I'm going to go over all that. Me personally, I'm very excited because when you get new toys to play with on my channel, new defensive formations to mess around with, I mean, that's exciting. I don't remember the last time EA added new defensive formations. I mean, that's really cool. A lot of times you have to wait for a new Madden to drop for that to happen. But we're getting that mid-year, so I'll go ahead and I'll go over that as we go down the list here into the key highlights. Now, this is something that they've been talking about for a while, that they've been trying to add pretty much throughout the year, was plays to playbooks, removing plays from playbooks and adding plays to playbooks, which is something that they just started doing, I think, last year. I don't think they did it any year before that. But ultimately, that's what, to me, is the biggest thing about this update. So basically, like I said, as far as new formations, the nickel triple is the one. That one looks really cool. And the nickel 245 odd, which to me looks a little bit like the 335 odd. Not a huge difference, but like I said, I haven't really spent too much time in it. But the nickel triple looks really cool. That's something I'm definitely gonna hit. If you want to see a play out of the nickel triple tomorrow, hit the like button and let me in the comment section, and I'll try to bang that out to put that out as soon as possible. Put out a new defense out of the nickel triple, because that one really has me excited. Now, before we get into that, this new X-factor is pretty crazy. Like I said earlier in the year, that as these new X-factors come out, I think that they're just going to be continuously more and more overpowered. And this one doesn't. This one kind of like goes right down that path. I thought that the Moss X-factor was a little overpowered, but I got to be honest, I haven't really seen it too much in gameplay to the point where it's not as consistent as you would think. But this one here seems like it's going to be somewhat easy to me. Now, it's called Omaha, which if you remember when Peyton Manning played, he would use that word to audible plays so much that it became like a legendary word for him as far as a pre-play audible. So I like the name, but basically it's something that Peyton Manning is the only guy that has right now. But if you have Peyton Manning in Ultimate Team, ultimately you can, if you complete 5+ yard passes in the air 6 times in competitive mode, you can see the defensive back coverage play art pre-play coach cam when in the zone. So basically what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to see what the defensive backs are running. If it's running a cover 3, if it's running a cover 2, if it's running a cover 1, you're going to be able to see that once you're in the zone. You're going to be able to, I haven't actually seen how this looks, but I'm guessing you're going to see it like you're in a practice mode or something, and you're on the defensive side of the ball, which to me is cool, but it's also pretty crazy considering how easy it is to one-play touchdown defenses, especially if you know how to do it like I do. I know how to one-play touchdown just about any defense. So one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to go get Ultimate Team legend Peyton Manning, and I'm going to add him to my offense so I can basically just take away any guesswork at all. Complete a 6, 5, consecutive 6. That's not too hard. 5 yards in the air. It's not. I think that's pretty simple, honestly. It's not hard to complete 5-yard passes. But anyway, so if you complete that 6 times in a row, it's only 4 times in arcade or simulation. But if you complete it 6 times against competitive players, you're going to be able to see exactly what their defense coverage is in. So to me, it's a huge advantage. To get knocked out of that, you have to throw 2 incomplete passes, which to me, I don't know, that maybe it should be 1, or get an interception, sack, or a fumble. The sack might be the easiest one to get if you know some good blitzes. But that's a really cool one. But to me, it's just a little bit overpowered to say the least. But like I said, pretty much everyone you're going to see, in my opinion, pretty much every X factor they're going to add going forward is probably going to be pretty overpowered. So it's nothing new to complain about. But getting on to the gameplay updates, because like I said, that's what my channel is. My channel is a gameplay channel. It's also a money play channel. I am super excited about these top 2 right here. Like I said, I'll mess around with the 245 odd. To me, the 245 odd looks a little bit, like I said, when I first saw the play art, looked a little bit like the 335 odd. So I don't really know what to make of that yet. But I'll definitely be messing around with it because, it's not really in a lot of defensive playbooks that I use. I do use the Panthers from time to time. The Ravens Ravens, though, obviously is one of the more popular ones that I use from time to time, so I'm definitely going to be messing around with these formations. But the nickel triple, to me, stood out. When I looked at it, I was like, man, that looked like the proper spacing, the proper alignment to be possibly a good run defense and a really good blitz defense. So I'm really excited what the nickel triple looks like. And like I said, I'll try to get some plays out from that as soon as possible. They did also add a goal line 6-2 formation to all playbooks. Now, this actually looks pretty decent. Not a lot of people really run goal line, but this is something I'm also going to check out, try to give you guys word back on in a future video. They also added the 3-4 odd to the Panthers, which to me was one of the few things missing from the Panthers playbook. The Panthers playbook is going to be a really good defensive playbook. I already thought it was, but now that they added the 3-4 odd, which is a lot of people's meta formation, I think that's a really good addition. So that was one of the only 3-4 formations missing. So the Panthers right there shoots right up the ladder as one of the best defensive playbooks. They also added the under and the over ed to the Chargers, the 3-4. They also added the 3-4 bear, which is a really good one, to the Cardinals, the Bucks, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Packers, and the Patriots. Now, to me, the 3-4 bear is one of the best run-stopping defensive formations. So to add those to those individual playbooks, especially the Lions, the Patriots, the Packers, the Dolphins. Those are a lot of playbooks that a lot of people use, including me. I use the Patriots. So that, to me, is a great addition. Adding the 4-3 odd, which is one of my favorite formations as well, to the Jaguars, Saints, and Vikings is a really good addition. The Saints defensive playbook was not very good, so to add the 4-3 odd is really good. Continuing down the line, in the Saints playbook, they added a new formation entirely called the Taysom Hill QB shotgun formation. Which is basically it has Taysom Hill. Basically allows Taysom Hill to play multiple offensive positions, which is halfback, tight end, and wide receiver. That's pretty cool. Overall, I looked at the formation though, and I can't say that I was too impressed with the formation plays itself. So that's something to think about. But it is pretty cool that they did add something like that, because obviously, I mean, I don't know if he's a player that stands out that crazy. You know what I mean? Like in the league, if he stands out that much. But it's pretty cool to have the option to change him around in a formation. So I went ahead and messed with it, and it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. But all you have to do to change that, you can't actually manually put him in the position. You have to use the right stick and actually flip him around from quarterback to wide receiver to halfback to tight end. It's pretty neat. I'd like to see that used more often. I don't know if there's a lot of players in a lot of different playbooks or a lot of different teams that can qualify for that, but it's pretty cool to thinking outside of the box. So if you have either that, I mean, I wonder if that'll be the same in MUT where you don't have Taysom Hill, but you're using the Saints playbook. So that'll be pretty interesting to find out, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So still pretty cool, but like I said, not a huge fan of the actual plays they have there. It's very basic. You know what I mean? It's like if you're going to run that with Taysom Hill, maybe the best play might be the QB blast. You know what I mean? Looking at it. They have a stick formation, which is a pretty decent cover 3 beater. They have a PAFL screen. I mean, there's a couple of really basic. I'd like to see them flush that out a little bit more and make that a better formation. Overall, it's not a great formation. Taysom Hill is also going to be the third tight end in the single back wing tight U, the single back wing pair, and the single back wing tight. So if you're using the Saints playbook, like I said, once again, I don't know if this is going to be something that you're going to see. I don't know if you can make any adjustments playing this in a regular game mode, but you're going to see Taysom Hill playing some tight end in these formations. So pretty cool, but ultimately, like I said, I mean, he's also a slot receiver in the gun double wide flex. Like I said, I don't, unless you play regs, I don't know if you're going to see anything like this in MUT, which is typically what I play. But still, pretty cool. They're thinking outside of the box. Now they also added some formations as far as each individual playbook. It seems like they added something. Like the I-form wing is now in the Bills. The I-form H slot is now in the Cowboys. You'll have to check these individual playbooks. I'm not going to go over each individual one, but some formations they added, like those two, and then the rest it just seems like they added some plays. So the gun doubles out of the Bills now has RPO plays. So check your favorite playbook. There's going to be some new changes. The Patriots now have a formation called the Wildcat Patriot, which is basically the same as the 12 gauge formation that already exists. But it's pretty cool. I mean, they ported that over based off of just basically the Mohamed Sanu trade, which is kind of weird because I don't know if I never really thought of him as a player who runs the Wildcat, but I guess that's something that they did. The ones that seem to change the most out of this are the Bills, the Cowboys, and I guess I see the Packers and Chiefs in there once, but ultimately that's pretty much it. So obviously the Saints changed quite a bit, but then the Bills, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Packers all have some change plays. Like, plays that a lot, like the red zone halfback scissors, which is a play that I know. I've never really seen people running that online, but they changed that in the Packers. So it's a pretty decent play too, but it's not something that it's like people are really going to think about. So they made some they did some tuning as far as as far as defenses go. They previously updated cover 2 and cover 3, and I've noticed that I went ahead and I tried them out a little bit. I didn't see a ton of differences yet, but it makes it sound like they decreased the effectiveness of them. Like they made, when cover 2 got changed and it came out, I put out a video saying how they basically just made it like the best defense. The way that I'm reading this, it says this is a follow-up tuning to that, and it said it should make zone defenders in plays like cover 2 and cover 3 less effective at quickly breaking on multiple routes in their zone. So yeah, like I said, it was they made it a little overpowered. The way that I read that, they made it a little bit overpowered, and now they tuned it down a little bit, because to me cover 2 was covering far too wide. I don't know, I'm not saying that it's necessarily a reflection of my video or anything that I put out about it, but it was definitely cover 2 was covering way too much ground. So to me that was the biggest one. I don't know about cover 3 as much. I put out a lot of videos really destroying cover 3 after that patch came out. I've already noticed a little bit that when I tried to go on and lab a little bit, I think that cover 3 was actually a little bit better. So to me, I don't know if they improved it or if they just improved the individual play that I use against it, but to me the cover 3 against one of my favorite plays seemed to do a little bit of a better job, but it still kind of got gone if I just used a slightly different approach. So to me they're pretty much the same. It seems like they tried to fix it, but it's not 100%. It seems like they toned it down, but we'll see as time goes on. They did fix an issue where you can't call a timeout once you start kicking kicking a field goal, which I thought was pretty helpful. I'm sad to see that go. Every once in a while you realize you didn't adjust to the wind correctly. You can call the timeout. You can't do it anymore. So once you start kicking, you got to kick it, and that's it. You're going to miss it. It is what it is, which sounds fair. They tuned the cover 4 plays, the safeties, the way the cover 4's safeties react to the run. I guess they made it a little bit better, which in the past cover 4 safeties are usually pretty good at coming up and stopping the run. So I guess that they went ahead and they tuned that to make that effective again, which that's an interesting look at it, considering that it's not I always thought that's what cover 4 safeties did. I don't run cover 4 a lot, so I can't say I really noticed, but I guess they increased their ability to do that, which is something, like I said, they've done in the past. So they're going to be better at stopping the run now. They fixed an issue that caused AI-controlled characters to rarely use special moves like juke and spin. So I guess when you're playing the computer, they're going to be juking and spinning and stuff like that a lot more now. So that'll be interesting. Another big one, I think they fixed issues with the special check for cover 4 palms versus hot routes, swing routes, and trip sets. You could home run cover 4 palms pretty easily in some of these sets, so I think that's what they're referring to. Ultimately, some of these cover 4 plays. That's why I always say I never really use cover 4. I don't think that cover 4, to me, it's kind of glitchy, it's kind of broken, and there's a couple of plays with very little adjustments that can home run these formations. Now, I don't think they're ever going to catch all the bugs. That's the thing about this. I think it's always going to be somewhat of an issue, but it seems like they're trying to address it. Maybe they addressed some of the issues that were brought to their attention. Like I said, I've made some videos about it. Maybe they tackled those. They really try to break down the issue here as far as why cover 3 or why cover 4 has so much issue. But to be honest with you, I'm labbing it while I'm playing a game, and it's still pretty broken. Like I said, I'm running. There's a technique to breaking cover 4 palms and cover 4 quarters, and it hasn't changed. So like I said, you can hear my controller clicking while I'm talking because I'm creating this video while I'm labbing some of this stuff against this, and it's the same broken setup. Like all you really have to do is have a bunch of short routes. If you have 5 routes running against a cover 4 palms and you have only 4 deep coverages, it's going to break, and you're going to have one. If you have 1 deep coverage and 4 short routes against a cover 4 palms, I guarantee you the deep route will get open. And I'll if you guys want to see a video about that, let me know. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section with the like button, and I can make a video about that. But it's a very easy defense to break, which is why I never really make videos about it or recommend running it. Now, something that I did not notice here, they fixed an issue that causing the ball warp to the ground when throwing on the run near the sideline. When are they going to fix the fumble that when the quarterback gets sacked, sometimes they'll clearly fumble it, but it'll blow the play dead and call it a sack? So I don't know when they're going to fix that. I don't see anything about that here. It would be nice, you know what I mean? Like it's definitely an issue that they don't seem to be concerned about. But that's something that I would like to see done without a doubt. I mean, there's, you know, that's something that's like you're clearly getting fumbles that are not happening, and you know, that's something that I'd like to see them fix. But other than that, I'm really impressed with what they did here. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. You know, let me know what you guys think about it. I think there's some pretty cool stuff going on in this new update. So if you want me to continue to do update videos like this as they come out, do me a favor to like button and let me know in the comment section. Other than that, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.